Hey friends, hope everyone's having a grand day. My name is Terry and you are at Terry's Smell Goods. I've got my wax empties today, guys. Yeah, fall and winter, I start going through a ton of candles, so I've got a lot here and let's get started. All right, we'll start with my Lone Goose Creek candle. I'm actually not finished this candle, but the candle is changing its scent and I'm done with it. So this is Trick or Treat. This is a pretty popular candle with Goose Creek. I think there was a little period where it didn't come back, and then there was a period where they changed the label and people got highly upset. The label is back on this year's version. I didn't pick it up. I didn't need another. But yeah, it's kind of a weird label because every time I look at it, I think this is a tornado. I don't know why I think that these kids are trick-or-treating and about to run into a tornado. Yeah, they're running towards it on both sides. It's actually a tree, but it just, like, the leaves, I guess, are, like, either falling, in the act of falling, or hanging from it. And it just looks like a whirling tornado to me. And, you know, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So I don't really get the label. I know Kent from the Candle Channel, he changed up the label, and that's when people kind of went crazy. I thought his label was kind of cute. I do think I have his label in my stash too. And then I think that's my last trick or treat. So I'm done with this candle. It's not a love for me. So this actually has scent notes on the front. It says apple, caramel, and graham cracker. I would say that's the gist of this. I think that it also has a little bit of pear in it too, if I remember right. And maybe a little bit of a cider note. But apple, caramel, and graham cracker, those are the notes you get the most. And I think there's a little bit of like a chocolate note. Yeah, it's just not my favorite. It's okay. But yeah, these candles that have like this matte labeling, they tend to burn really awful for me. And so the wax got very discolored. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's discolored. It's not like overly obvious, you know, when the wick threads start falling into your wax. It's not overly obvious dirty that way, but it's very discolored from soot. And I do keep my Goose Creek wicks cut very, very, very short because that's how I have to burn them in order not to have a problem. This is after a burn, so they had not been trimmed again. But basically, I cut them down to nubs. But this is just not smelling fabulous. So I'm done with it. I've got quite a bit of candle there. It's about right here. So a good more than half of it. And I don't know. It's making me grumpy. So it's going in the trash. I'm done with it. I'm sure there are a lot of you out here who love this one and probably love the label. It's very nostalgic for you, I'm sure. But it's just not one of my favorites. But feel free to comment below and let me know how much you love it, because I know a lot of you guys do. Performance I just talked about, so it's kind of obvious. But as far as throw, it was decent. I would say it's about a 7, so it's pretty good. All right, Bath & Body Works. We've got this one I'm not finished with, and I'm not going to toss this one. I am going to finish it. Really enjoying the scent. The candle is performing well for me so far. I don't always get to say that about a Bath & Body Works candle, so I'm enjoying what I'm getting here. This is Apple Macchiato. This one's been out, released by Bath & Body Works for a little bit now, although I don't think this came back this year. So maybe we're done releasing it. I don't know. Scent notes are, at least they came out a couple of years, right? I think 2 years in a row. Washington spiced apples. Washington spiced apples. Okay, we're being very particular there. A hint of cinnamon, caramel drizzle, frothed milk. So you would expect it to kind of smell like an apple macchiato. The Starbucks drink, I don't remember. Is that what they call it? The apple macchiato? That might be what they call it. I know my daughter tried it and she's like, yeah, I don't like this. It was super uber sweet. And this candle is very sweet smelling. Very apple forward. You do get a little bit of a milky creaminess to this. I am really enjoying this. I like it mixed in with my other apple candles. It's performing well. I would say it's throwing at about a 7.5. And I'm not having any problem with it getting dirty. It's not overly sooting. I don't have a gritty mess at this halfway point. It's got a little bit of soot buildup in there, but nothing to write home about. I'm actually pretty happy with what this one's doing. I'm going to continue burning that one, but I expect to finish it this week, so I can just toss this one in the trash because I've already talked about it. Pumpkin cinnamon bun. This one is a favorite. It's been released from Bath & Body Works for a number of years now. Warm cinnamon roll, pumpkin spice, and vanilla frosting. Yeah, this is just a really delicious, doughy, frosted pumpkin cinnamon roll. It's so delicious. It's such a strong performer. I did finish this one under my lamp and in my crock. I'm surprised that the wicks haven't kind of floated because, yeah, I finished it up in my crock the last few days. But I lamped this, I crocked it. I burned it at first. It burned pretty well. I got to the halfway point and then I started to lamp it and crock it. Absolutely delicious under my lamp. Like I said, it's strong. Under my lamp, it was even stronger. I mixed it in with the wax I had going on. Oh my gosh, this is a true bakery delicious favorite. I will always have this one in my collection as long as Bath & Body Works releases it. Throwing this easily an 8, 8.5. I was very pleased with this. So that is pumpkin cinnamon bun. White pumpkin. This is also a favorite of mine. Look at that label. Is that not beautiful? I love this label. I think I have a few of these because I love the label so much. Gingered white pumpkin, caramel glaze, and warm blended spices. So this one is definitely your spicier pumpkin. You do get a little bit of that ginger, but I don't think it's too gingery. I don't know that I really, is it caramelized? This is caramel glaze. I don't know that I really pick up a lot of caramel. Maybe kind of sit in the background. I mostly get like a spicy pumpkin scent. And I almost feel like there's a little bit of a maple sugar note to this. It doesn't say that in the notes, but it kind of almost feels that way a little bit. There's a little bit of like a sweet gooiness to this. I really enjoy it. It's, like I said, mostly a spicy candle. So I think if you don't like spicy pumpkin, you probably won't love white pumpkin. But this is a true traditional candle. It is released from Bath & Body Works every year. It doesn't always get a pretty label. It did this year. I did pick it up with the leaves. It was very pretty with like the plaid and the leaves. But a lot of times the White Barn side releases this. So it doesn't always get a beautiful label. So I don't always pick it up from time to time because I'm not huge on, you know, I like the cutesy. I like the cutesy labels. I know there's a whole audience that loves the White Barn, the plain labels. And I do too from time to time, especially if I'm going to put it in a candle jar. Sometimes I like just that pop of color. But they don't always burn well for me, especially if they have that matte neutral finish. So I kind of like the cutesy labels, but this one did well. I got pretty far. I've got that much going on, and I lamped the rest of it because I only had that much left. It did well. The wax is not overly dirty. It was not overly sooty. I didn't have to remove anything. So I was pretty pleased with how this one burned. Throwing it, I would say, was about a 7.5. I was pretty happy with that, and I mixed this in with other pumpkin candles too and other pumpkin wax. So that is white pumpkin. Spooky Cider Lane, otherwise known as just good old Cider Lane. This is another cult favorite that isn't a favorite of mine. So this has notes of bone-chilling bourbon, glazed apples, and magical maple syrup, along with voodoo vanilla. So yeah, those are some crazy notes, but the gist of it is we have bourbon, we have glazed apples, we have maple syrup, and we have vanilla. Most people know what Cider Lane smells like. It is predominantly a caramel apple scent. It's not really my favorite, but at the same time, I don't get that celery note that I sometimes get with caramel apple. Especially sometimes a Cider Lane kind of vibe, but it's okay. I burned what I could of it, which was quite a bit, so I'm pretty pleased with myself. The one thing that Vendor Wax has taught me over the couple of years I've been doing it is I can blend my candles just as easily as I can blend my wax. So I've realized that from vendors, I have enjoyed some Cider Lane scents that are blended in with other blends or oils or scents. So I thought, why don't I do that with my Bath & Body Works candle? Especially because I picked this up because, hello, the label. It's luminary. It lights up. It's beautiful when it's lit. And it had a fancy lid. Let me grab the lid. I'll show you the lid. Okay. Look at that spooky guy. Now, this may have been the very first one. For some reason, I think it was. But let me know in the comments below if you remember otherwise. This may have been the very first fancy lid that Bath & Body Works did, like of this caliber, where it's, you know, it's hefty and it's got some, you know, some really intricate details to it. And they've gotten better along the way, and obviously this must have been pretty popular because they keep doing them. And let me see, what was the price of them then? $32.50. So now I think these fancy lids are like $39.95. There's a couple online right now. The Perfect Christmas, which is my #1 favorite scent ever in all things. I love the Perfect Christmas. It has the big bow lids, which they released, was that last year or the year before? I want to say it was the year before they released those. And I'm not a big fan of those because they just don't stack very well. And so I really don't want more of those bow lids. And I kind of wish that you could just purchase them without the lid because I really do like the jar. And Ice, I want to say it's called Ice Winter Balsam. I could be wrong about the name. It's a nice fragrance. But those two have those big bow lids. So they're like $39.95. They went on sale during the $10.95 candle sale this weekend for $19.95, I think, which is like, no. But yeah, fancy lid. And so I will keep this lid. I will repurpose that. But I don't know. I may even keep this jar for a little bit and just use it to melt some wax because I really like it. And it looks really pretty under the candle lamp just as well as it does lit. But caramel apple scent, I don't overly love it, but I don't hate it either. So I enjoyed it. That's how much I got through. So kind of hard to see here, but I'm probably about right here. I'm going to let it go because I'm kind of over it. But it burned well. It got a little bit sooty around the edges. It's kind of hard to tell with the black wax, which I think is pretty cool, the black wax. But not bad, not bad. And the throw on it was good. But it was in an area where I really appreciated it because if you don't overly love a scent, you kind of like when it intermingles with other things. And it did well doing that. I burned this a lot on my Maleficent candle holder. It looks so good on there. But I would say the throw was about a 7, probably 7.5 on this. So I was pretty happy with that. And that is Spooky Cider Lane. Last one from Bath & Body Works here is Ghoul Friend. You will notice I have quite a bit left. This is another scent that Bath & Body Works releases every year. This and Vampire Blood, they come out every year at Halloween. They do usually give us something new for Halloween, but it's usually just one fragrance. We did get that, like, what was it? Like a root beer kind of scent. Ice cream soda float kind of scent this year. I think it was called Ice Cream Float. But Ghoul Friend, and I love this label, by the way. Oh, the label is just fire. I did pick up a few of these because I love the label so much. But this one comes out every year. The scent notes are dark strawberries, ghostly peony, spine-chilling citrus. I love the little scent notes that these Halloween candles get. But basically, we have strawberries, we have peony, we have citrus. That is exactly what you smell in this. Emphasis on the strawberry and the peony. This is a floral scent through and through, a fruity floral. A lot of people love it. Obviously, it must sell well because they keep bringing it back. It's just one of those that doesn't really fit the season that well for me. So this is something I would more enjoy the fragrance of in the warmer months rather than these cooler months. So I burned it a few times, but I'm just over it. I actually have a single wick going too, and I tossed the rest of that because I have about the same amount of wax left in that one. I'm just kind of done with it. Not because I don't like the fragrance. I actually do. Very, like I said, fruity forward with the floral there. I just don't love it this time of the year. So I burn it this time of the year because it always has a Halloween label. But that is Ghoul Friend. Let me know in the comments below if this is a favorite of yours. How do you feel about burning it at this time of the year? But throwing this was pretty darn good. It's always those ones, right? Throwing this was easily an 8, pushing 8.5, onward up to a 9. Every time I walked in the room, this was burning. I could smell it. Super strong. Says Ghoul Friend. Performance also, guys, pretty good. But I have not quite gotten to that halfway point yet. So that's usually where I run into the problem. But the burn itself was pretty stellar at that point. Domino is sitting next to me, just sleep and chill. But he has not gone to the bathroom. And I'm like, if I was going to work this morning, this would be a problem. He's been doing this the past week. I don't know if it's because his allergies are affecting him. I don't think it's that. I think he's just so spooked by every noise he hears. And it's just been tough. And then I'm like, You know, Terry, you gained an hour today, but you just lost it. It's gone. I just spent it dealing with him and still didn't achieve the results I was looking for. So, you know, it's one thing when you spend an hour extra doing something that, you know, in the end, you make headway, right? But, all right, let's see. Homework. Sorry, this one I am still working on, but this one is a slow burning candle. I don't know that I will finish this one this week. But yeah, it's a slow burn. I guess I shouldn't complain too much, but also because it's a slow burn, it's not pulling out especially well. This is Blood Orange Brew. I think I said I was moving on to homeworks, right? If I didn't, we are. We're moving on to homeworks from Harry Slackens. So this is a TJ Maxx find. This is kind of got the scent notes covered. I think it says blood orange, star anise, pomegranate juice, and cinnamon stick. Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate, although I did not know pomegranate was in here. I don't really pick up pomegranate. Not even looking for it. I don't pick it up. So I get the blood orange, yes. I get those spices, yes. The star anise. Star anise is one of those notes where I'm like, I'm a little careful about it because sometimes it can come off as black licorice. It does not come off that way in this candle. It comes across more spicy. That star anise I can get behind. And sometimes, you know, true to form, that's what you get. But sometimes it does come across as very licorice. I've picked it up in a Kringle candle before where it came across like that and I didn't love it. I've picked it up in vendor wax before where it came across like that and I didn't love it. So sometimes it does happen. It's typical that can happen. But yeah, I just get like the spices, but they take the back seat to the orange note here. You kind of get that bitter blood orange note the strongest. Not my favorite orange because I tend to like a very bright, sweet, vibrant orange. But at the same time, I enjoy this. And I do like spices mixed in with my orange. And I enjoy this. It's not overly strong, so I'm not getting a ton of it. And that may help with those spices as well. But I would say the throw on this is maybe a 5.5, 6. That's pushing it. That's in a hurricane. So it's not very strong. But I love the label. I love the look of it. Like I said, it is burning super slow. It's looking pretty good in there right now. It's not burning hot or dirty, but super slow. And it actually looks pretty good with the pulling. But I have had to take my wick dipper quite a few times and kind of pull in the edges and remove a little bit of wax here and there because it just gives me trouble with the pulling, even in the hurricane. But this is a scent I've burned before, and I enjoy it. And I enjoy the labels. I've seen it in different labels, and this is one of my favorite. It's just really pretty when it's burning. The orange text on it kind of glows. And I like to pick it up from time to time. I really do enjoy this scent, but just wish it was a little bit stronger. So that is Blood Orange Brew. Label, so cute. Speaking of problem child from Homeworks, crisp apple cider. I think this is a love for many too, and I get it. It's a good one. That label is gorgeous. Crisp apple cider is Granny Smith apple, juicy gala apple, spiced bourbon, clove, and nutmeg. I don't really get that bourbon note. Didn't know bourbon was in there. So I think it mixes really well in with those spices, but this is not overly spicy. This is more apple than anything, and there's a lot of apple going on in here. And it does kind of give you that vibe of like an apple cider, but not overly apple cider at the same time. The apples are really bright, juicy, crisp. Really nice scent. Really nice scent. Performance. This is where we have a problem. This one, puny wicks. Puny wick syndrome all the way. I have struggled and struggled to keep this candle lit. When I do keep it lit, the wicks are just drowning. It's been driving me nuts. I've had to remove wax quite a few times. I am down to the bottom. I probably could get one more burn out of it, but I'm not going to because I'm tired of playing with it. I love the scent. This is one that my daughter really loves too. So when she finds this one, she likes to pick it up. I will pick it up again. I love the scent, but I don't like dealing with nursing candles that much. If it happens once or twice during the burn, I'm okay with that. This was a work in progress. Getting it to pull out, getting to wax to kind of melt in with the rest of it. It just was a problem child from the beginning. It remained a problem child, but obviously I liked it enough that I got down to the bottom. So I continued to work with it. It burned in a hurricane. My homeworks, that's where I tend to keep them. Scent, like I said, beautiful. I know I've said that a number of times, but throw on it is really hard to give you because I couldn't get it to pull out well enough to really smell it very strongly. So delicious scent, just not a big thrower because of all the problems I had with its performance. So really hard for me to rate a number on this. I'm not even going to try, but I will pick this one up again and hopefully get better performance. That is Crisp Apple Cider. Just love this label for the fall. Beautiful. I am loving all my apple. I am loving all my pumpkin. I am taking that straight into my November. I know a lot of people don't do that, but to me, fall, those are my favorite scents. I love all the pumpkin. I love all the apple. I do those scents September, October, November. So I am going to exhaust those scents in November for sure. I don't start my tree scents until December. And that is because I take my tree scents straight into January and February too. So I have no qualms about burning Christmas scents in January, February, because to me, they're winter scents. Tree, to me, all winter long. I love tree in winter. I love the cranberry. I love applewood mixed with my tree. So I'll still have some apple blends, but I like it mixed with tree, not like straight up apple or mixed with cranberry. But I will do those blends all winter long. I don't start like on spring in like January and February. I will do coffee blends. I do coffee blends as soon as the weather gets cooler. So those all happen through fall and winter. But yeah, I'm going to still be working. I'll be doing blueberry scents. I do blueberry all year long. So I'll do scents like that. But yeah, I will do my apples and pumpkins. We'll continue on through November. I need to get my Scentsy warmers out because I need to bring Tom the turkey out. Yeah, I need to get going on that. All right, last candle company here is Kringle Candle. So I'm still working on this baby. She's not quite finished. I'm going to finish her up this week because I don't have much of her left. Although these candles do take a bit to get through. This is Kringle Candles Candy Corn. This is their Halloween release. This one was from a couple years ago. If I remember correctly, I don't think they released candy corn last year, but they did bring it back this year. Those candles are now marked down. I don't even know why I put this info in here because I'm always a month behind on my empties. So by the time you see this, those candles are probably going to be gone. But candy corn is still one of the ones that's available presently. Again, it'll probably be too late. This one does not have scent notes on the bottom. Yeah, they go through these periods. So this one to me, this is the newer formulation of candy corn. I had the original one, and I got to tell you, I know people complained about it, and they mentioned that it was too light, but I got really decent performance out of that candle. And to me, that was the truest smelling candle corn candle that I had smelled from Kringle. This one's not it when it comes to what candy corn smells like. So it may be a little bit stronger, but this one to me does not smell like this candy. I know I love this candy, so I know what this candy smells like. I pick it up every year. This one to me kind of leans a little bit more bakery than what this candy would smell like. This one is not super cleanly sweet. And I know clean is not always the best word when you're talking about home fragrance, but this candy is uber maple syrupy, honey, super uber sweet. And that's what I want to smell, but that's not what I get from this. I get a little bit of like a leaning towards bakery note. So it kind of almost smells like a honey sweet pastry to me, if that makes sense. I'm enjoying it. I'm not having any problem with it. I'm kind of mixing it in with my pumpkin candles. But if you're looking for a true to form candy corn scent, I don't think this is it. I think Kringle's original formulation was more true to form as far as the candy corn scent. But I am still enjoying the candle. I do enjoy this label. And I'm actually loving their label this year even more. Yeah, I did pick up another this year. And if it gets marked down even further than where it is now, I'll probably pick up another just because I really enjoy burning this one at Halloween. But I do prefer the original formula. So that is candy corn. I would say the throw on this one is about, it's not uber strong either. I would say probably 6. It's kind of average. You could probably bump it up to a 6.5 in a hurricane. I'm about right here. So not a whole lot left. But I'm going to finish that up this week, and then I'll be tossing that jar. But the burn quality, yeah, I totally forgot that. You know, Kringle tends to burn flawless, so unless I have a problem, I tend to forget it. Burn quality itself, it's doing amazing. Super clean, no sooting, no soot buildup. It's just doing fabulous. So, really enjoying that. Just wish it was the original formulation. Then I'm also nursing this one, not done yet, and it may go longer than a week because I got a little bit left in here. But I've been burning this one for a while now. So this one is cherry pie. But at least when I am finished, I'll just go ahead and toss this and won't have to talk about it again. This one was a pretty popular candle. This one sold out on its first run. They did pour more, and it did make it to a markdown on the second run. This is cherry, pastry, fruit, citrus, buttery, and vanilla. This is absolutely delicious. The cherry note in this is just so good. Not medicinal. Not super tart, but a little bit, but it has more sweetness than anything. It literally smells like a cherry pie filling. And I love me some cherry pie. It's probably, besides pumpkin, one of my favorite pies. You do get a little bit of that pastry note. It's just so delicious. It's buttery, and you do get some vanilla. You literally smell everything it tells you. I don't know that I get a ton of citrus note, but it may be adding to the brightness of the cherry. But it's delicious. I did pick up another one. I may have picked up 2 more because I think I picked up 2 when this was first released because I had a feeling it was going to sell out. And then I picked up another one when it got marked down. So I think I have 2 more. I will absolutely enjoy this. I love this label. It is a bit more of a summery label just because of that tablecloth, that bright kind of pinkish tablecloth in the background. But it's a scent that I could easily take into fall, and I did. So I am really enjoying this one. The performance has been very good on it. I will say this one is sooting up just a tad, but not overly so, but there's a little bit of buildup there. But it's not making the wax dirty. It's not changing the scent. Soy candles, this is 100% soy. They do tend to leave a little bit of a residue. That doesn't bother me at all. I'd rather have that any day over all that black soot. So you guys know how I feel about Kringle Candle. It's no secret. They are my favorite candle company. Do they have duds? Yes. Do they have some candles that overly soot? Yes. But the majority of the candles do very well for me. And that's the point of me buying from them. And then there's so many other things I love about this company that I could go on and on about and have gone on and on about. But cherry pie is delicious. I would say the throw in this one is about a 7. It's not overly strong, but it's pretty average. I can definitely detect it when I walk in the room. It's delicious, and I will buy this again if they bring it back to the line again. They are already starting to migrate some of their country jar fragrances into their Kringle tumblers. Some have already appeared. In fact, I can't remember if it's called apple pumpkin or pumpkin apple pie. Or maybe it's just called apple pumpkin. I can't remember what it's called. It's across the room and I can't see the tiny print on it. But oh man, it's got a beautiful wax pool going on. I just lit it for the first time this morning. That fragrance has already moved over in the label. It's so beautiful in this jar. I will tell you, I know I started my home fragrance days with Yankee Candle in the apothecary style jar. I understand that it triggers memories for people. They love the apothecary jar. I'm not overly huge on those jars. I'm kind of over them. Even though, I could say they trigger a memory for me too, because that's where I started. But I'm not overly attached to those jars. I actually prefer these. So I'm kind of glad that some of those are moving over to these jars, because I'd rather buy these. I do kind of wish they were keeping their medium, though, because I don't always want the tall jar. But they last a long time. They take some time to get through. Cherry pie, guys. Sorry to get into all the details with, why I love Kringle so much. But there you have it, cherry pie. All right, guys. That was my candles. That was a lot. I know that probably took a good 20 minutes. I'm not even sure. But hopefully you didn't mind that format. Maybe you prefer the quicker format. I don't know. I always feel like when I buzz through it, I forget to talk about a lot, and I don't give a lot of details. But maybe you prefer that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Do you like more details? Do you like the quick synopsis? Let me know. All right, let's talk about retail wax. Actually, my non-wax. Okay, non-wax items. I have a couple. cinched up bag of cotton balls. I go through a lot more of these than I show on camera, but I like to show them from time to time in case you're interested in, you know, a method to clean up your wax. I do the cotton ball method. I tried the dumping method a few times and it just doesn't work well for me. I tend to make a mess. I'm not very, I'm not one of those people that's full of finesse, so to speak. I'm a little rough around the edges, and dumping wax just doesn't work for me because I tend to make a mess. So I'm a big cotton ball girl. I go through a lot of them. But I don't buy those ones from Scentsy because they cost an arm and a leg. And even though I love them, I don't do them. I will say that, you know, sometimes you get your fingers a little bit messy because sometimes I don't put enough of the cotton balls in to soak up all the wax. But I do love that method. And I was watching Tracy from thru Thesis Candle Channel. I think the name of her channel is. I love her videos. So if you haven't watched her already, check her out. She's more candles than wax, but she also does wax as well. She was talking about how she wears gloves when she does her cotton ball cleanup. And I was like, that is a great idea, especially because I have a huge stash of gloves from the COVID period that I thought I'm never going to get through all these gloves in a lifetime. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to start doing that. It's working fabulous. So Tracy, if you're out there, I know she watches my empties sometimes. If you're out there, thank you for that pointer. I'm loving that. I am no longer getting messy, sticky hands when I use my cotton balls. That was a fabulous tip. All right, Bronze Sunset Foaming Soap from Bath & Body Works. I finished that up too. This is Exotic Coconut Island Waves and Soft Musk. If you like Cocoa Paradise, if you like Suntan from Bath & Body Works, this kind of falls in line with those scents. Beautiful floral, beachy, coconut, sunscreen vibe. Oh man, it's so good. That's Bronze Sunset. I actually have some Halloween soaps I'm finishing up. So yeah, not sure how I had the summer one sitting in the lineup so long. I think it was in my spare bathroom. I don't use my bathroom downstairs a lot. So it tends to have a scent that's left over from, like, you know, 2 seasons ago. All right, let's see. Let's talk about retail wax. I only have 2 here. I've been working on more vendor because I was trying to get through my Halloween scents as much as I could because I don't really want to put them back into my stash for next year. So I didn't do a lot of retail. So we have Pringle Candles Pumpkin Rum Toddy. I wanted to try this out and see if I wanted any of those thru candles that have been going on markdown because they're phasing out the painted jars, which I love, by the way. I'm so sad that the painted jars are going away. This was nice. I definitely get that toddy note. I'm not a huge fan of like a boozy fragrance, so it's not one of my favorite pumpkin scents, but I do think it's popular. A lot of people do enjoy this. So if you do like a toddy scent, and I do like Bath & Body Works Apple Spice Toddy or Spiced Apple Toddy, I think it's called. Maybe I like it more with those spices. And I do think there's some spice in here. It does show a picture of cinnamon on there, and it does smell like cinnamon, but it's not my favorite. Pumpkin Rub Toddy. All that just, you know, run on and ramble. It's not my favorite. But the performance on it was pretty decent. I would say, I don't grade wax by the throw, but the throw is decent. I would say a good medium in my kitchen. Woodwick, this is going on in my kitchen now. This is pumpkin butter. So Woodwick is owned by Yankee Candle. This is a delicious blend of fresh pumpkin, warm spices, and sweet buttery notes. Why the hell are these scent notes not on other Yankee products? I mean, I know it's a subdivision, but still. So easy to do. So these notes, these are exactly what this smells like. Yep. Pumpkin. It's buttery. It's spicy. It's delicious. I love this scent. I used to pick up the candle, like the long one. I can't remember what they call the long one. It has like, you know, the wood wicks have those crackling wicks. I really love those, but they don't throw as well these days, so I don't pick them up so much anymore. But the longer ones do a little better, and I actually think I might have one of these in pumpkin butter downstairs now I think about it. I should bring that out in November because it's been sitting down there a few years. So I should bring that out and just go ahead and burn that. But if you like a buttery pumpkin spicy scent, and I don't think it's overly spicy, but there's a good amount of spices in there. Really, really beautiful pumpkin scent, but not overly strong. Not overly strong. I have it going in a number of hot plates in the kitchen and my candle crock, and it's there, but it's not really strong. All right, that'll do it for my retail. Let's get started talking about the vendor wax. All right, let's see what we have. We will talk about Salt Mountain Melt, Hungry Ghost. Someone, I remember who it was. It was my friend Taylor, commented in my comments the other day. She said, tell me who your favorite vendor is. You know, all things considered, you know, throw, wax quality, all these things. You know, there's a lot of things that go into home fragrance and how you would choose your favorite vendor. And I have struggled choosing my favorite vendor. I have not done a top vendor video, even though I have a number of favorites, and I could still do a video where I talk about my favorites. But I am struggling to pick my number one. A lot of YouTubers have been able to do that, and I'm kind of jealous. I feel like I struggle because I feel like I could pick a piece of this from a favorite, a piece of this from a favorite, a piece of this from a favorite. Maybe this one predominantly throws well. Maybe this one predominantly has wax that I love to chop. The consistency, it's fabulous. Maybe this one consistently has blends that I really love. All these factors go into it. And so I struggle to pick my number one favorite vendor. This one was going to be it. This one was going to be it. Salt Mountain Melts was moving up my ladder so quickly. And I was realizing that she was basically becoming my favorite vendor. And maybe just a notch below because her scents didn't come around as frequently because her lists were smaller. So that could be the one notch. But everything else I loved about this wax. And I'm so sad that I found Amanda as late as I did. And now she's no longer with us, so we can no longer purchase her wax. She was a beautiful soul. She had beautiful wax. And this would have been probably, if I had to pick a top, Salt Mountain Melts probably would have been it. But Hungry Ghost has scent notes of pumpkin pecan waffles, sugar cookie, and toasted marshmallow. So plain and simple. Her blends were not overly sophisticated or overly complicated. But sometimes that's just what I like. Pumpkin pecan waffles heavy. You get the sugar cookie, you get the marshmallow vibe. It does have a little bit of toastiness. But pumpkin pecan waffles heavy for sure. This was absolutely delicious. I did half at a time in my open space. Performed great. I usually do get pretty good performance out of her wax. I wish I could get more of that. It was super cute. It was orange, and I love her labels. I love the aesthetic of her wax. I love the consistency. I love the performance. I love the blends. I love the names. I could go on and on and on. The only one notch I could think about was that her lists were not, and it could be a pro as well. Her lists were not overly large, but because they weren't overly large, a lot of times blends didn't make it back around again for a while. That probably wouldn't have been it if I had to pick a favorite vendor. Hungry Ghost. Rocky Top Waxworks Fall Festival. This had the most beautiful shapes. This just made me so happy looking at them melt. Sweet pumpkin, caramel apple, pecan pie, and fall spices. Yeah, that's pretty much what you got. Very, basically the epitome of fall. I did not get a strong caramel apple vibe here, which I kind of appreciated because I almost didn't pick this up because of the caramel apple, because you know how I feel. I get the pecan pie. And the spice is the strongest with that pumpkin. I just get a touch, and it's a very small touch of the caramel apple. That was very enjoyable. That is Fall Festival. Birdie's Making Sense. This is going on in my upstairs right now, and it's so cute. 2 pink spider webs. One has a little spider on it. I'm definitely scared of spiders, but it's super cute. The pink makes everything better. This is strawberry jam, vanilla buttercream crunch, and birthday cake. This is a blend created by Jessica D. I think Jessica is a big lover of strawberry pound cake, if I remember correctly. Yeah. This is delicious. Buttercream and strawberry bakery. It's absolutely delicious. I'm really enjoying it. It's throwing pretty darn well up there. I have it going in my bathroom, and I have it going in a smaller bedroom up there. But it's doing its thing. Strawberry crunch cake. I would definitely pick that up again. Especially if she released it in such cute shapes. Because I enjoy her Halloween shapes so much. Southbound Autumn Cookie Crumble. This was in a wax cake, and it is going on my open space right now. This is pumpkin pie, warm spices, apple pie, and vanilla cookie crumbles. This scent is delicious. I am really enjoying the scent. That said, it's not overly strong. This is from last October. So a year old. We just hit November. So a year old. So if it was stronger, I might, if she did it like in her 4-pack, I don't think she's doing clams anymore. I might pick it up again and do it in a smaller space. But I think in my open space, it's just kind of swallowing up a little bit. But the scent itself is delicious. You get pumpkin pie, you get the spices, you get the apple pie. You get what's coming across to me is like an oatmeal cookie. It smells just like, is it called spiced oatmeal cookie or oatmeal cookies in vendor wax? That's what it smells like is in here. I think that's in here. It doesn't specifically say that. It says vanilla cookie crumbles, but that's how it's coming across to me. And I enjoy that oil from certain vendors, and apparently Southbound's one of them. Autumn Cookie Crumble. Just wish it was a little bit stronger. Let me get a whiff at it in this dish. Yeah. It's not even super strong in the dish, but oh, it's delicious. The spices have worn off a little bit, and it hasn't been in there super long. Maybe an hour and a half. Going on 2 hours, maybe. Yeah, I guess it's been going a little over 2 hours. But Autumn Cookie Crumble, it's a good one. It would be on my favorites if it was stronger. Teddy Bees, Witches Be Crazy for Beach Treats. This is her Witches Be Crazy, which is birthday cake, pecan waffles, sugar cookie dough, and a pinch of cinnamon spice vanilla. With Beach Treats, which is her beach nights. And this is from March of 2024. This one performed just fine. I don't always have the best of luck with Teddy Bees, but I feel like our fall and winter scents do better for me. This one did great. It was very creamy. Her beach nights in this was very creamy. So I'm guessing mixed in with those, you know, pastry, heavy bakery, gourmand notes, especially like the birthday cake in her Witches Be Crazy. It was coming across as very creamy beach nights. The beach nights was definitely there. You could tell. You definitely picked that up. It was enjoyable. I don't know that I would call it one of my favorite bitches. Did I just say bitches? I sure did. One of my favorite Witches Be Crazy scents. I think Witches Be Crazy for Cupcakes at Tiffany's is my favorite as of the ones I've tried so far. But I liked it, and I would pick it up again. I would get another souffle and have it in my stash and enjoy that one again. It says Witches Be Crazy for Beach Treats, and I was pretty happy with its performance. So I would get that one again. Traverse City Wax Frankenstein. This one was a favorite for me. I don't have the best of luck with Traverse City Wax, so I have stopped purchasing her wax. Fine if it does well for you. I know it does for a lot, but it does not in my house. I've found a couple that do. Peppermint Mocha does outstanding, and I love it. Frankenstein did okay the first time I did it. It wasn't overly strong, but it did okay. There was a fall blend I did recently. I think it was called Fall Bakery at Tiffany's. That did great, and I loved it. There's a Beachy Marshmallows blend that she does that I love. It's not overly strong, but I love the blend of it. I may try to have another vendor put those scent notes together because I just don't get great performance out of her wax, but I love that scent. So I don't know. We'll see what we can do, but I don't often like to do that, but I like the blend. So maybe in a customs. But Frankenstein is buttery cupcakes, sweet pumpkin, crushed pecans, and vanilla bean. This is a delicious scent. It's from last July, so over a year old. Not too far over. But I got nothing out of this. I did half of it in my open space. I couldn't smell it. I did the other half in a small bedroom, in a crock, and a couple warmers. Couldn't smell it. So I probably let this one sit too long because I've warmed this one before and it did decent. It did decent. So I would say I would pick it up again because I really like the fragrance and I would just warm it sooner, but I'm not going to. But this is a pretty popular one. So if you get good results from Traverse City Wax, I highly recommend you try Frankenstein because it's a pretty popular one. And I did like it the first time around. Rainbow Melts Witching Hour. Sweet apples, ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, subtle woods, and warm sugar cookies. Yeah, this is quintessential fall. Oh, yeah. You definitely get that ginger note. So I am not always a big fan of ginger, but I appreciated that it was mixed in with all these other things, including those spices, so that really helped. But you definitely pick up the ginger. You get the apples. I don't get a woodsy vibe. It does say subtle. And you do get that sugar cookie note, so it has like a little bit of bakery to it, but not strong bakery. But it definitely is like a gingery apple, a spiced gingery apple scent. And it was enjoyable. I would get it again. Witching hour. All right, Zate. I've got a couple of clams here. I did, actually, do I have this in the, no, I did, must have did it last week. Hocus Pocus in a clam. I recently did some shapes, but it must have been my last empties. Charred pine, dried fall leaves, and toasted marshmallow. Yeah, I love this one. It's very more so marshmallow heavy, but you get that smoky charred wood kind of scent. It's so good, but Zape has closed its door, so you can't get it anymore. But it's probably a scent that you could kind of easily, you know, I feel like Super Tarts might have something like this in her scent repertoire. So I feel like you could easily dupe this one. Sometimes she lists scent notes that you can't really tell what her oils are, but this one I really enjoy. Cookie Cakery. This is butter cookies, vanilla cake, cookie dough, and buttercream. I warmed this in conjunction with something else I had going on in my kitchen to add a little bit more bakery to it. And I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I don't remember what it was I had going on. Maybe I'll run across it. Maybe it was a candle I had going. I don't remember what it was, but that's what I used it for. It wasn't overly strong, but it just added a little bit of bakery to whatever it was that I was either burning or warming. So that's Cookie Cakery. Vanilla Scream. This one's a favorite of mine. I love this blend. This is creamy vanilla and false spices. I wish I knew what the false spices were, but my guess is like a nutmeg. Kind of almost has like a little bit of an eggnog vibe, but no like booze or rum or anything like that. Maybe like a nutmeg, maybe some pumpkin pie spices, but it's more vanilla than anything. Ultra creamy, and it's just delicious. And I missed that one. That was my last one that I had a vanilla scream. So that's it. Tootsie Pop. This is chocolate caramel and chewy taffy. This was unbelievably authentic. It really smelled like the chocolate center of a Tootsie Pop. You didn't really get like the candy coating, but to be fair, that's not really part of the notes. But it literally smelled like a Tootsie Roll, like a chewy Tootsie Roll, and it was strong. I did this in my kitchen. I added my Kringle candles, trick or treat candle to it. I also added my Homeworks Halloween candle. I should have talked about, what's it called? Halloween candy, I think it's called. I should have talked about that candle too, because I'm past halfway on that one. But I didn't, so it'll be on my next one. But I added those two candles to the mix. The Homeworks candle is not really strong, but the Kringle candle is doing well. It has that walnut liqueur note in it that I'm just loving. But this was, it was hella strong. It was really good. I was enjoying it. It was drifting from my kitchen into my living room. And when that happens, I know something's strong because that doesn't usually happen. Wish I could get more of that. I don't know if I picked up another bag or not. I think I only picked up one, so I think that's it. But maybe I'll do a surprise and find another. Sassy Girl Aroma. I warmed through a sample of roasting s'mores. I think I just sent Taylor a whole brittle of this one. This one is, it's nice. It's more sweet than anything, but you get a little bit of like a toastiness to it as well. And I feel like there may be some graham cracker in this. So I'm not overly fond of that note, and I could be wrong, but it kind of smells like it. But roasting s'mores, I am loving these new samples that she's giving out because they're larger, and I never have any problem with her samples. They do great. Halloween night. You want to take a guess what night I warmed that? This is Leaves, Bonfire Bliss, and Toasted Marshmallow. I know this one is a popular one, but it's not one of my favorites, and I think it's because of the leaves note. I don't know if it's Bath & Body Works leaves, but it kind of leans that way. It kind of has a little bit of that fermenty smell to it. I don't get a lot of smokiness from this, so I wouldn't be too scared of that. I do get the toasted marshmallow. I feel like there's a little bit of something else there, but I get the leaves note the strongest, and I think that's why it's not my favorite, but I didn't dislike it. I finished it up, so you'll know when I really don't like something because I don't finish it. So I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would pick it up again, but maybe. I don't know. I didn't overly love the leaves note. Maybe if I mixed it with something more bakery, I don't know. You know, sometimes you kind of fight with your mind a little bit. But I know I've mentioned in the past, and this is true, I'm kind of not doing, you know, my average scents anymore. I'm just looking for, you know, spectacular, really. October Kiss. Pumpkin pecan waffle, butter brickle, and zucchini bread. This was delicious. Absolutely delicious. Yeah. Pumpkin pecan waffles forward. You do get that buttery brickle note in this. It's so buttery, caramel, delicious. And then the zucchini bread, which Sassy Girl Aroma's zucchini bread is just so good. There are some vendors that have some really good zucchini bread. Second and Spruce, excellent. Lavender and Speckles, excellent. There are some vendors that have really good zucchini bread, and Sassy Girl Aroma is one of them. It's not really strong with the zucchini bread. Pumpkin pecan waffle is definitely a star here with that buttery caramelness of the butter brickle and a little bit of zucchini bread. Definitely gives it a little bit more of a bakery note. This is pure bakery right here, and I liked it a lot. I could have even taken this a little bit stronger. It performed at about a medium. I could have took this at high intensity. Absolutely. The Pharmacist's Daughter, Hallows Eve. This is crackling birch and pumpkin pecan waffles. This looks nice. I feel like this was a good transitional scent between fall and winter, because you get kind of like that tree woodsy vibe. And then you get the pumpkin pecan waffles. I would have liked this, I think, even more if the pumpkin pecan waffles was a little bit stronger. It was kind of fighting with the crackling birch. So I was getting the crackling birch a lot stronger. But a little bit more pumpkin pecan waffles. I guess I could add some of it. I have some Britas, I think, upstairs in a single bar I could have added. But it was enjoyable. Hallows Eve. Don't know that I need to repurchase it. Every day is Halloween. This one, though. I think I talked about this in a recent Empties, too. King Cake and Pumpkin Souffle. I love TPD's King Cake. It is my favorite. Scentsy has nothing on TPD's King Cake. It's so good. It reminds me, I have a couple loaves downstairs, so I need to pull one of my loaves and work on that in November. Actually, I could do that in January, too, during Mardi Gras. Or is it February? I never remember. Is it February? Comment below. When is Mardi Gras? For some reason, I thought end of January, beginning of February, but I could be wrong. King Cake and Pumpkin Souffle. I love the Pumpkin Souffle added to the King Cake. You get predominantly King Cake, but a little bit of creaminess from that Pumpkin Souffle. Oh, so good. So good. And a good performer. Super Tarts. I did Creeper Status. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this one. It was kind of scaring me. This is green apple cake pops and strawberry milkshakes. I don't always love green apple. It can be kind of tart and not in a good way to my nose sometimes. It kind of almost smells like a really tart candy apple to me. And like if you know Bath & Body Works winter candy apple, it's not one of my favorites. Yeah, definitely green apple tends to smell candy-ish to me. This was okay. I can't say I loved it, but I was a bit surprised on how much I did enjoy it. So, I don't know. I probably wouldn't get it again, but I think if these scent notes sound up your alley, it was a great performer. Creeper Status. It was enjoyable. I just was really curious about it. But you definitely get the green apple cake pops stronger, but it does have that creaminess to it that tones down the apple. So I enjoyed it. Wicked Without Coffee. This is caramel bread pudding, candy corn, toffee, iced coffee. Okay, caramel bread pudding, candy corn, and toffee iced coffee. I struggle with her labels every time I'm on camera. I need to like practice on her labels before I go on the film. Yeah, this one was a nice creamy coffee scent. I don't know for sure. I could definitely say there's caramel bread pudding, but I get a caramel note. It kind of smells just like an iced caramel coffee with an additional sweetness from the candy corn. It was okay. I don't know that I feel like I need that one again, but Wicked Without Coffee. It performed at an okay, about a medium intensity. All right, Britas. I got a number here because I am working on my 13 days of Halloween event, or I should say I finished it. We were past Halloween, so I finished it. There was one blend. It was the last day of, it was Halloween day, last day of her event, that the scent kind of gave me kind of wintry vibes, so I saved it. It was a witch bar. It smells amazing. I know it has roasted pine cone in it, and I like to do roasted pine cone during the winter months. So I saved it to do more towards the end of November, going into December. So that one I didn't warm, but everything else I did, I think, except for one blend that had teak wood in it, and I really don't like mahogany teak wood. I don't like it, and I could smell it strong on cold. So that one I didn't warm. I'll destash that and let someone else enjoy it. But everything else I warmed, even one that had absinthe in it, and I don't really love that oil either because it's kind of like a licorice, but I did it. Zombie Brains. These, I think all the ones on top here are from, yeah, top are from the Advent, and then these bottom ones here are her regular blends. So Zombie Brains is red delicious apple, blackberry jam, butter cookies, and cotton candy. This was enjoyable. I really like the mixture of the apple with the blackberry jam, butter cookies. You get the apple stronger, and I really like that. Because blackberry jam butter cookies can be pretty powerful, especially Berta's. Hers is pretty strong. I really enjoy that, and I liked the sweetness that the cotton candy brought to it. So that was a good blend. I like that she named everything. So these can be requested if you really enjoyed them. If you did the event, comment below. Let me know what you thought. Spider cake. This is banana walnut cake, absinthe, and sweet and creamy. This is the one. And what made me do it was banana walnut cake, because I love that oil from Brita's. If you know, you know. I love banana, and her banana walnut cake is probably my favorite banana oil. The absinthe note in here is not terribly strong. It's there. It lends a little bit of a darkness to the blend, a little bit of creaminess. But the sweet and creamy definitely helps. And her banana walnut cake oil is strong. So that was actually enjoyable. So that's spider cake. And I wasn't going to do it. But on cold, I was like, this doesn't smell like overly licoricey and dark. So let's go for it. Deadly Sweets. This is pumpkin pie spice, vanilla pumpkin marshmallow, and hazelnut marshmallow. This was delicious. I'm really enjoying that hazelnut marshmallow oil she has. Yeah, you get the pumpkin pie spice, very obviously pumpkin pie spice, but also toned down by the vanilla pumpkin marshmallow, which is a Bath & Body Works type. And then the hazelnut marshmallow just gives it a creamy nuttiness. This was delicious. Deadly Sweets. Elixir of Life. Love the name of that. This is coffee, pumpkin pecan waffles, and Danish butter cookies. Her Danish butter cookies oil is phenomenal too. Yeah, very good. Very good. I would have liked this even to be a little bit stronger. I was surprised it wasn't stronger because her coffee tends to bang, and I love her coffee blend. So these notes are right up my alley, but it wasn't super strong. So maybe if I let it sit a little bit. I mean, it's been curing for a month. This is from September 22nd. I love that she puts pour dates on her stuff. So I don't know. I just thought it was going to be stronger with a mixture of coffee and the PPW. But I loved it. So that's Elixir of Life. A Quiet Place. This one is a favorite that I've worn before. This is roasted pine cones, pretzel, sweet and creamy, and vanilla bean marshmallow. Yeah, this is creamy pine cone, earthy, sweet, pretzel, delicious. Oh man, it's good. I think her favorite, or my favorite pretzel blend from Brita's is her Wicker Man, but this would be a close second. Love A Quiet Place. It's a great performer. Really enjoy that one. Halloween Party. This one I've had before too. Pumpkin crunch cake, candy corn, and vanilla bean marshmallow. I love pumpkin crunch cake. I love candy corn. This is sweet, creamy pumpkin, little bit of a bakery note. It's great. Halloween Party. Prom Queen. And these bigger bags, these older looking labels, these are not the event. This is Cupcakes at Tiffany's, strawberry, and chocolate chip cookie dough. This was poured June of last year, and I wasn't super sure about this one because the wax has started to kind of turn on the top. So I thought, maybe this wax is not great. And then it didn't smell overly strong on cold. Put it in my warmers. She banged. Brita's. I mean, Brita's, speaking of favorite vendors, Brita's definitely up there. Brita's probably would have been my number one until I tried Salt Mountain Melts. But then still, they were like neck and neck. But Brita's had some changes in life during her past year or two now that have made her wax a little bit harder to access. You still can get it, and she still does orders, but it's a little bit more inconsistent than it used to be. So that, of course, matters. But I really like Brita's wax. It's really good. This was fantastic. You got Cupcakes at Tiffany's the strongest, which is not surprising. It tends to be a dominant oil. The chocolate chip cookie dough oil just led to the chocolate that is part of the Cupcakes at Tiffany's. And then a little bit of strawberry, and her strawberry oil is so good. You definitely could pick up the strawberries. So this was a phenomenal blend. I would pick it up again. Prom Queen. Rick Grimes. This one is also a favorite from Brita's. I think this was part of her last advent, and it was fantastic. Coffee, banana walnut cake, caramelized pralines, and Danish butter cookies. These are all favorite scent oils from Brita's. I love all those oils from her. Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. Love Rick Grimes. It is already a repurchase and will be again. Last vendor. Rose Girls. Big Witch Energy. This was a chunk muffin. Espresso Secret Witches Brew. I don't know what's in the Secret Witches Brew. But it kind of scared me because I thought, is this going to be kind of like, like Yankee Candle Witches Brew or like Kringle's Witches Cauldron or something like that where it's kind of incensey? No, I didn't get that from this at all. I think it was some kind of bakery note. So I don't know what it is. Maybe there was a little bit of incense mixed in there, but I don't really get that. I got the espresso the strongest, but it kind of smelled like espresso bakery to me, and I wasn't hating on it. I would definitely get that again. It was good. Big Witch Energy. And it performed well. Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle. No more Mario. Red apples, clove, crushed cinnamon sugar, graham crackers, and vanilla cake pops. So that was okay. I didn't overly love the fragrance. The red apples and clove, prominent here. It definitely had that clove where it was a little tad bit heavier than I would like it. I don't know that I get cinnamon sugar. I get the clove the strong. I get the apple the strongest, but the clove is right up there. Graham cracker note. Yeah, I definitely think there's a little bit of graham cracker I'm picking up. It wasn't my favorite blend, but I finished it, so what's that tell you? Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle. The performance on it was decent, though. It did well, and I did some of that in my kitchen, and it did fine. It was pretty strong. Forever My Boo. This one was so pretty. It was white and had, like, glitter. I did do the majority of it in my candle crock because I didn't want to deal with the glitter in my warmers. I also use those little silver pans and stuff, so I did what I could not to have to clean up the glitter. Fresh pumpkin pie, cinnamon sugar bear claws, sugar cookies, and creamy cheesecake. I have to say, this was not my favorite blend. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but this one is just, like, quite milky to me, and I don't know if it's the cheesecake. That's the only note I'm reading here that I would think would be giving me all that milkiness. But I've had her cheesecake in blends before, probably mixed usually with blueberry, and I've enjoyed them. But this was very heavy, milky. I didn't love it. So that one I would not pick up again. Forever My Boo. I know that sounds strange with all the other scent notes, but I really wasn't getting those. This is from last September, so maybe those other scent notes kind of wore off and I was getting mostly the cheesecake. That could have been a problem. Because it kind of came across as mostly like that cheesecake and a sugar cookie note. I wasn't really getting cinnamon sugar bear claws. And I wasn't getting pumpkin pie. Yeah, so that could have been part of the problem. I waited too long to melt it. Okay, guys, last blend here. Danbury Halloween. This is Danbury shortbread cookies, candy corn, and toasted pumpkin seeds. This one was a lovely blend. but it was not overly strong. Yeah. I did it in my oven space. I guess that's not totally true because in the beginning, it comes out a nice medium. It's a healthy dose of the scent notes in this. The Danbury shortbread cookies, you get the strongest, which is a Bath & Body Works type. You get that the strongest. Kind of a buttery, creamy sugar cookie, shortbread cookie. Kind of smells like those Lorne Dorn cookies, kind of, but a little bit creamier. And I think that's the candy corn adding to that. Definitely has a sweetness going on here. It's not like overly honey or cloying or anything like that. I think the toasted pumpkin seeds brings that down a notch, but it's not overly obvious this toasted pumpkin seeds either. This one, the problem was it didn't last very strong in that intensity. Like it came out happy medium, but it quickly wore off. So I would not repurchase this one again just because it didn't last very long. But I enjoyed it. The wax itself was really pretty. It was like orange and beiges and yellows, and it was really pretty. Danbury Halloween. All right, let's pick my favorites. So we have a couple of repurchases. Well, I guess I should start with candles. I should start with candles. Okay, guys, I got to tell you, Bath & Body Works wins this week. Pumpkin cinnamon bun. Yeah, repurchase. Love this candle. I can never get enough of it. It's just so good and such a punch you in the face kind of scent. And I just love that about it. I will say a runner-up, though. I am really enjoying Cherry Pie from Kringle. So really enjoying that one. So definitely a runner-up. But yeah, pumpkin cinnamon bun is the winner for the candles. Retail wax, I only did 2, so I won't even bother. There wasn't a standout. I mean, I enjoy both scents, but nothing like earth-shattering. And then we have our repurchases in vendor wax, which is Britta's Rick Grimes and Britta's A Quiet Place. Obviously, those are favorites because they are repurchases. And then we have our new favorites. Actually, I have one more repurchase. The Pharmacist's Daughter Every Day is Halloween. That is fantastic. So, so good. And then we have our new favorites. One that I won't be able to get again, but Hungry Ghost from Salt Mountain Melt. Love, love, love that one. Big Witch Energy from Rose Girls. That was really good. Prom Queen from Britta's. Really enjoyed that Cupcakes at Tiffany's blend. And October Kiss from Sassy Girl Aroma. Those would definitely all be repurchases for me. Love, love, love them. Fantastic. Okay, guys, I really appreciate you sticking with me today. I am going on about 10 o'clock this morning. I need to get my laundry started. I actually have some candle hauls, but I probably won't film those because I am still sitting in the backlog of videos I need to edit. I have been trying to get 2 videos a week out on my empties to catch up. I have very successfully failed at that. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Work has been crazy. And this time of the year in the corporate world, oh my gosh, it is super busy. We'll be slammed through the end of the year. The last day of the year, we will be slammed. And I tend to take a long vacation at the end of the year. It is my only vacation I tend to take during the year, like full vacation. I take like a day or 2 here or there, but I don't tend to take a full week until the end of the year. And then at that point, I usually take 2 weeks. But in the business world, a lot of times stuff still has to be done. People want to do shutdowns at the end of the year, clean things up, do acquisitions, mergers, all that stuff that they want done at the end of the year. So it gets kind of crazy. And yeah, there's a lot of complications usually. So even though I take that 2 weeks at the end of the year, it usually is not a 2-week non-working period. There is usually something I have to do during that time. So we'll see. We'll see. Every once in a while I get lucky. I've been with the firm that I'm with for going on 20 years. It'll be 20 years this June. So I should be used to it by now, right? I should be used to it. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to have the time that I need to do the candle hauls. But I've realized that I need to do some things better, and I am working on that. So maybe that will be, I don't tend to do New Year's resolutions, but maybe that will be my resolution this year, is to kind of slow it down, breathe a little, and work on getting some consistency going with my YouTube channel. But those of you who have stuck with me through it all, I so appreciate it. I really appreciate you being here. You guys are wonderful, and I know I don't say it enough, but I really, really am thankful. I love that you interact with me, that you comment, you let me know your favorites, you let me know your experience with a blend, which may be very different than mine, but I appreciate that because not all of us have the same experience, and that lets other people who view my channel see your comment, and maybe they want to take a chance on something that I didn't have a good experience with, or vice versa. So I always appreciate that, especially on my Scentsy stuff too, because, you know, Scentsy is kind of a blind buy kind of thing. Well, the vendor wax is too, but, you know, like your Bath and Body Works, you can go in the store and smell things. So it's really important that you share your experiences, your thoughts, and other people see that too. So just know that you're not only sharing with me, which I appreciate, but you're also sharing with other people. So do please interact. I really do appreciate that. But I am very, very thankful that you've been here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I hope that you will. And come along with me on my journey of home fragrance. I've been doing home fragrance for a very, very long time. Very new to vendor wax. Not very. I can't say very anymore. I've been doing it over a couple of years now. But candles I've been doing, oh my gosh. And wax melts. Retail, but I've been doing wax melts. I did them a lot in the beginning. Candles started it all. Yankee Candle. Candles started it all. And then I would do candles kind of here and there over the years. And then I got strong back into them. Probably just before COVID, I got very, very heavy back into candles again. So I was doing them all those years, but not at the rate that I'm doing them now. Not for a little bit there, but I have been doing them a lot. But very, very heavy back in there before COVID. And then wax melts I've done, you know, here and there over the years. I kind of gave up on them because I felt like it was a messy cleanup. And that was kind of back when I would dump things, or, you know, you'd have these warmers that didn't have a removable dish, and it just was a messy cleanup, and I did not enjoy it. But there are so many ways to do it now. I mean, you can do the freeze method. You can do paper cups. You can do the silicone cups. You can do the cotton ball method. You can do dumping. Dumping still exists, and some people like it very much. I just wasn't a fan, so I don't love it. But every once in a while, I do still do it. I will tell you. It's just, I don't love the cleanup, because when you dump the dish, there's always wax dripping off. And so don't love that, especially if you have like a Scentsy warmer that has like an unfinished glaze. Yeah, it doesn't have a glaze. So it's an unfinished ceramic. Unglazed. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. Unglazed ceramic. I don't like to dump those dishes. So anyway, the point of that is to say I'm back in the wax melting business because there are a lot of ways to do it better now, in my opinion, for me personally. So many methods, so many ways to do it. So I'm back in the wax melting business and enjoying it a lot. And I just appreciate you being here through my journey with me. I really do. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for my empties. I'm sorry if this video turned out to be too long with me adding the candles too, but hopefully I went through them quick enough. Comment below, all the comments. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and I will see you next time. Have a great one. Bye-bye.